Youth Ministry Nation, it's AC, Kurt, we have a visitor, Eric. Let's talk youth ministry, people.
Yo.
How are you?
Good. Eric, good to see you, my friend.
Eric.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our good friend, Eric Totanis.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it? Totanis or Totanis?
Any way we do.
I need like hand clap
Anyway,
effect
Eric,
for visitors.
Yes. Eric is our Saddleback Student Ministries youth pastor from the wonderful city of Manila, Philippines.
Yep.
He's here getting some training. He's going to go to the Orange Conference with us.
Woo.
Excited about that.
Excited about that.
It'll be
Yep,
good times. He got pulled over today.
I got pulled over by the cop today. Yeah.
His story was almost as good as the story we heard
Oh,
yesterday.
wow.
Wow. Maybe not as good as the story we heard
Can't
yesterday.
be.
We heard a 1 hour story yesterday about a friend of ours who got in a little
Incredible.
bit of trouble.
Incredible.
Okay,
I was
so-
about this close to that
Oh,
story.
wow.
Yes, you were.
I was
Yes, you
about
were.
this close, yeah.
Eric is just going to sit in with us today
Yeah.
and give us a little Filipino perspective on things.
Mhm.
What do
He's
we
a
call
youth
it? What
minister?
do you guys call Filipinos? What do you Pinoy?
Pinoys.
Pinoy.
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 Pinoy, yeah.
Pinoy.
Yeah.
P-I-N-O-Y.
P-I-N-O-Y. Pinoy.
Pinoy. Remember yesterday or the day before we
Yeah.
Are you
You bet.
smarter?
I didn't want to say that. I was like,
Were
I
you
don't
smarter
know.
than a Pinoy?
Were you?
I wasn't.
No.
I wasn't.
I'm either.
Are you smarter than a Pinoy?
More Pinoys are more smarter than me. Definitely. that's
All right.
But
Okay.
Eric's in youth ministry.
Yep.
And so we want him to sit in and he's going to just share a little bit while we speak.
He is kicking butt and taking names. Do you guys
Yeah.
have that saying in Philippines? Kicking butt and taking names?
We don't do kicking butts, but I don't know what's the context of that in the Philippines.
Kicking butt and taking names means
That'd be
you
true.
are on fire.
Yeah.
You're doing a
You're
great
doing
job.
good.
Your
That's,
youth group is-
that's how we say it.
Okay. You're doing good.
We're,
doing good.
we're on fire.
You're on fire.
We're on fire.
Awesome.
Kicking butt and taking names.
Awesome.
Okay. I'll take
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Today we're going to the email bag.
Yes.
Again, we always try to do some type of theme that kind of encompasses some things that you may be going through and things that we're definitely always talking about and wrestling through and trying to get better at. And so we're going to talk about those things, and Eric's going to kind of chime in. We have two that we're going to discuss today. One is about
So these are emails that people wrote. Okay.
emails that people sent in to Talk Youth Ministry.
If we can't remember it, we gotta get a different email.
No, talkyouthministry at gmail.com. Little tongue tied there. But they sent the emails in. One is, I guess his numbers were doing great. Mm-hmm. He had flourishing with students coming to youth group, and then a drastic turn of events. And
Is that how did he phrase it?
he phrased it, what do you do when your numbers drastically drops?
He did.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
okay.
how he referred.
Wow. Right.
So that could be a number of,
Yeah.
that could be horrifying
Uh-huh.
situations.
So who's talking about that?
We're going to go to Kurt.
Oh, I thought it was okay.
Well, I just want to throw it to you, kind of give us your take. What do you think?
Gosh.
He's asking,
If,
what do you think the cause is? So,
what's the cause when numbers drastically drop? Who knows? Right? I mean, we've never seen his youth group. We don't know what's going on.
yeah.
His definition of drastic, he didn't say it was 50 and now it's 5.
Yeah.
It might have been 10 and now it's 8.
Yeah.
And that feels drastic. Is it drastic? But I think without knowing any of that, I would always say that one of the things I like to do when something's not going well, right? When you're facing struggles, when something's not clicking, when you have drastic attendance drop off.
Yeah.
Obviously, he can't pinpoint it because normally you would go, "What's the obvious
Yeah.
problem?"
This happened,
Yeah.
and so now I
If
don't.
health causes growth,
Yeah.
and you have radical shrink, and you have radical
Perfect.
drop off of attendance,
Yeah.
then you would go, then something unhealthy is going on.
Yeah.
If health causes growth, then lack of growth must mean lack of health.
Yeah.
And usually that would be pretty obvious
Yeah.
if there's that big of a drop.
Yeah.
If I couldn't obviously pinpoint it, I would do the old, and I know youth group's not a business, but if it were, I know it's not, but if it were, I would do the old product, people, process analysis,
Yeah.
right? And go, okay, where is the attendance dropped off? Oh, our midweek program. Okay. That's the product, right? That's what we're trying to get kids to come to. Well, let's look at the product. Is the product what they want? Is there something broken in the product?
Yeah.
When's the last time we updated the product? Is what's going on? Product. People. How's our team doing? Is there unhealth on the team? Is there somebody coming to the youth group that's poisoning the well? You look at the people and you look at the process.
Yeah.
Like our organizational structure. Is Wednesday night the wrong night to have youth group, or is our strategy, our paradigm, is there something broken in there? If it was businesses always look at product, people, process, people, process. I think youth groups could do the same thing. Look at the product that we're trying to get people to buy into. Look at the people that are in charge of that, the volunteers, and myself as a leader, and maybe even the kids coming. And then look at the process, and chances are, with radical drop-off, there's something in the product, the people, or the process that's broken, right? That we need to address.
Yeah.
That's not a guaranteed way to answer his question, but that's probably one place I would start.
Yeah, I think if you have, this may not be the case, but sometimes you get a bump in growth because of an event that you had, something great. You're not necessarily ready for that, but you get it.
Right.
And then you look and you're like, oh, this is great. These kids just continue to come, but you haven't changed anything to actually sustain it.
Yeah.
But it's just there. And so sometimes there's a shift, that goes away, and then you go, what happened?
My first youth group, we had crazy growth because of one girl named Carrie Pace was bringing tons and tons and tons of friends.
Yeah.
It was nothing we were doing.
Yeah.
She was just bringing tons and tons and tons and tons of friends.
Just like
and then when she graduated from high school and quit bringing, our attendance shrank kind of significantly because Carrie Pace, our like crazy evangelist, wasn't part of our youth group anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we launched SYM in Manila, on our first day we had like 125.
Wow.
125.
Yeah, I was there.
We were there. Yeah. We had fun. It's like we're all fired up. We're kicking butt. But on the following week, attendance drastically dropped to guess what? 25. That's a drastic, obvious.
Right.
We're on the same building. We have the same program. They have the same pastor.
Right.
They have the same group of volunteers.
Right.
We have the same product.
Right.
We have the same process. We have the same everything.
Yeah.
So where did it go?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my opinion is that maybe it's another P that we need to consider.
Right.
Sometimes we need to consider that it's not about us people.
Right.
Yeah.
The growth or the non-growth happens is that when you rely on the first component in PDYM, it's the power of God.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that everything happens because the power of God is at work.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you shouldn't be misled by the things that we do. I'm doing things that are great. I do things this and that and this and that. It's not about what we do. It's not the doing, it's the being.
Yeah.
It's knowing.
This guy.
Yeah.
It's all about knowing
I love that.
who we are. And,
Yeah. Well, and what's crazy about that, Eric, not crazy about it. It's crazy that we forget that.
Yep.
And it's crazy that we get so panicked and insecure. Now, again, if it was a drastic drop, a drastic drop is always going to get our attention.
It definitely.
Right? Your drastic drop was kind of, we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? We just knew that the big kickoff was going to be big, and then everything kind of settled back down. This guy's been going for a while, and for some reason there's a so that's always going to get our attention, the drastic drop. But even then, we put way too much emphasis. We find way too much value, way too much worth. We measure our success way too much on the numbers. And when we can relax, and I think the first three P's, the people, the product, the process, and the power of God, the three can explain some things. The power of God can do miracles despite broken people, broken processes, broken product. And
which
we
it
have
oftentimes
to,
does.
and we have to be willing to go, God, I don't understand all this, what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust that your presence, your power is here.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're in control of this thing.
control.
It's really tough when we get the knock
Yeah.
on our office door from the elder or the senior pastor saying, hey, I noticed that you're talking in the elders meeting. You've had a drastic drop. You're like, yeah, this is happening.
Yeah. I
What's
hope
going
you
on
didn't
out
see
there?
that. Well, I think if you're practically looking at it, like for me, if that was to happen, I would have to, which is not something that we're drawn to do, but look at me, look at myself, look at, is there something I'm not doing? If there's something I'm not open to, as my way's been locked, and I'm not talking about his drastic situation.
Right.
I don't think we know enough about it.
Right.
But if I'm a youth group and I'm not growing, I need to think, man, is there something that am I expecting different results, but I'm doing the same exact thing, and I'm just expecting the door to open up and kids to come running in, but I haven't really evaluated what I'm doing,
Right.
how I'm leading the team. Am I micromanaging people who I've put over to really go out and help students evangelize? Am I managing that and kind of like putting them in box that they don't have the freedom to really go after
Correct.
training students and encouraging them to go out and evangelize to their friends? And I think almost the process of starting from within, which is kind of like the process you're talking about, I think that's a healthy process to always keep as your go-to in terms of what goes on, versus what we want to do is, okay, who did it? What did it? Like, I want to look outward for it. I want to blame someone else. I want to blame something. And sometimes we need to just look inward and be honest. And it's okay. It's as pastors, as people in ministry, we are not the end all be all. We're not the greatest. We're not the smartest people in the world. And we have to know that, hey, I need to give myself some grace and say, I could be the problem.
Yeah.
Or I could not be the problem at all, because youth ministry is secular,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's highs and lows, attendance cycles, and then it cycles back down, then it cycles back up, and sometimes we hit the panic button way too early.
Too early.
We don't have to hit the panic button. One of the reasons I love that we have a really well-defined purpose statement and process is we can trust our process.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we just keep doing what we know works and what we know is healthy, and there are seasons where the end result is shockingly awesome,
Yeah.
and there are seasons when the end result isn't what we want.
Yeah.
We have gone through seasons of, I don't know if we've ever had drastic decline, but
Yeah.
we've had attendance decline.
Yeah, totally.
And we keep doing what we know is healthy and good youth ministry, and then we sit back and we trust the power of God
Yep.
Yep.
to
move us
continue to
forward.
move this thing where we need to
That's
go.
good. That's good.
What else we got?
Good stuff. Okay, hope that touched you. Hope you get something out of that. I think it was really good. Second, we had a question about being a good leader. How do I become a good leader? And what are some ways for me to get comfortable being around teens? So this is a youth worker that's kind of breaking into this space. And two, they want to be a great leader. I mean, one, they want to be a great leader, and two, they want to be more comfortable around teens.
Yeah.
And
Eric, go
Yeah.
He was so on point with his
yeah, I know. Like, I'm going to defer to you
Yeah.
first.
All right. Okay. So, how do you become a good leader?
Yeah.
Well, I learned, based on my observation, based on the people that I listen to, a good leader is a good follower. You learn from how you follow your leader.
Yeah.
You gain trust. You gain a charisma. You gain this connection with your disciple by you being a good disciple yourself.
Yeah.
Jesus, being the ultimate shepherd, is also the ultimate follower of his father.
Right.
Even if it's he at the garden,
Right.
struggling to follow the command of the father, take this cup away from me.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But your will be done.
Yeah.
That is a picture of a good shepherd,
Yeah.
a leader in some context,
Yeah.
obeying a hard thing to do, and doing that, making him the best example of a good leader.
Yeah.
It all boils down to what you do, what you know. That
You've been watching the Eric Tatanis Pastoral
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes.
Eric, well done.
yeah, it just
we
No,
got the
that's
right guy
good.
in Manila.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's good.
I just
I
yeah,
love that.
it's really knowing that
Well, let me,
yeah.
and I know we don't want to go too long,
Yep.
but let me ask you a follow-up question because I couldn't agree more. I would not have answered the question that way. So, what is it about being a good follower that then prepares you to be a good leader?
Well, it's then to be a good follower that
Like, what do you learn in being a good follower that makes you a better leader?
well, knowing that anything that you do, it's all about perception. It's all about the mindset that you have in following. That it's not you don't follow because you have an ambition, you have a dream or something. You follow because you know that other people will also kind of follow you. It's all about the perception thing, that your motives.
Yeah.
Why are you following?
Yeah.
It all boils down to your heart.
Right.
Yeah.
That why are you doing the things that you do? Why are you following? Why are you subscribing? Why are you listening to us?
Right.
Why? Do you want to learn because you want to be great and you want to be famous? You want more money or something?
Yeah.
It all boils down to your motives. It all boils down to you follow because you knew that following that idea or values won't make me any better, but more people following me
Yeah.
will learn more in
Yeah.
what I do.
I want to comment. I'm just not quite sure what you said.
Okay.
You lost me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
You had me. I was with you.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I got lost.
Well,
but I think
I-
I know what you meant.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the
I don't-
idea
what
of
do Sorry.
I think the idea you guys been hanging out all week.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
totally
There's
tell.
a-
That's awesome. But I like the idea of great leaders or great followers of Jesus Christ. And I think it doesn't mean you're perfect. I think it means that your heart, your motive is that I want to do the will of the Father as I lead. And because people are following me, the person I need to follow the most, who will get me to where I need to be, is Jesus Christ. Will help me lead as in a way where He's glorified, where I'm always pushing for the Father to be glorified, is to follow Jesus. And the better my life with Jesus is, the better I'm able to lead other people. I do think there are some practical in this space.
Here's some practicals because I
Yeah.
think I love everything we're saying, and I think most youth pastors would say, "Yeah, I'm on board with that. I get it, man. I'm trying to follow Jesus really well.
Yep.
Yeah.
How do I be a good day-to-day leader of my volunteers, or how do I be a good day-to-day?" And I would say, never ever never neglect what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
A couple super practical things would be surround yourself with really good people. One of the presidents, I don't remember what president it was, said, "I never want to be the smartest person in the room because
Yeah.
if I'm the smartest person in the room, I don't need you guys,
Yeah.
right? If I'm smarter than you, if I'm smarter than my advisors, why do I need advisors?
Yeah.
Right. So you surround yourself with good people. I think another just good way to have just some leadership basic stuff is to have a humble confidence. A humble confidence. An arrogant, cocky, prideful leader will have followers organizationally,
Yeah.
but they won't have followers heart to heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? They'll have organization or employee type followers,
Yeah.
but they won't have followers who want to and believe in.
Yeah.
A humble leader will.
Yeah.
So, but you got to be confident.
Yeah.
People want to follow. Most people are followers,
Yeah.
but they want to follow somebody who has some sense of confidence. They don't want to follow somebody who's arrogant, prideful, and cocky.
Yeah.
So, a humble confidence, surrounded by good people,
Yeah.
heading somewhere.
Yeah.
Just be able to know where we're heading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if you just start with those 3 things, this is where we're heading.
Yeah.
I got good people on board. I'm humbly confident.
Yeah.
That I think is where you get off on a good start. And then the number one thing that breeds, again, it doesn't breed organizational leadership because that's given to you on day one.
Yeah.
Organizational, positional leadership.
Yeah.
But over time, you gain trust and loyalty and
Yeah.
people who will, go into battle with you. A lot of people want that kind of followers right away.
Yeah.
And you don't get that right
Yeah,
away.
that-
you
that
get that
takes time.
over time.
I think one more probably really valuable thing in terms of becoming the leader you want to become, a great leader, is you have to be a learner.
Mm-hmm.
I think the day you stop, that's preached over and over here, that that's a part of that humility piece of, I don't know everything, and I can always get better. I can always become more knowledgeable. To continue to learn. Don't think you're too great not to pick up a book, not to, know that's, or go to a conference, or grab coffee with, someone else who may not have, you could be at a large and have all this volume, and because we kind of compare, hey, you have this many, so you must be smarter, you must be greater. There are pastors with congregations that are not as large, but they're doing great ministry in the community and everything. And so, not discounting that, but going to them and just going to lunch. You pay, since you got the larger budget, and you just pick their brain. How are you? What are you? Because one, they have the capacity to actually do ministry that you may have to delegate out,
Right.
and so they may be doing things probably better or more strategic, or because they have the time and the space to move in that you can totally learn from. So continue to keep your heart at a position of learning, and I think that humility piece connects very well.
Okay, here we go.
Really quick.
We get 3 tips, but we don't explain them.
Okay.
We can't even explain them. We just say
Okay.
2 or 3 ways you become more comfortable around teenagers.
Yeah.
With no explanation.
Okay.
Be comfortable in your own skin.
Mm-hmm.
Become an adolescent development expert.
Mm-hmm.
And time. It just takes time. Those are my 3.
My one would be, don't be afraid to make a fool out of yourself. Engage students. I kind of want to add to that.
Nope, I didn't.
Okay. Engage students. Okay. Don't be scared. And then my third one would be, again, learn. Get resources. There are a bunch of them out there.
All right, me. Don't be afraid to commit mistakes. Just don't do it again. Second.
Golden rule.
Yeah, golden rule. Second is my second is I forgot. I'll go to my last. I'll skip the
Therefore
second.
is your second.
Yeah. The second is the last is important because we know that we love our students. We know that.
Yeah.
We love them.
Yeah.
We love doing the thing that we do.
Yeah.
But you need to like them more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's natural to love
Yeah.
people, to love it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's harder to like them
Yeah.
with what the things that they do.
You've been reading good stuff.
I know.
I know, yeah.
I would say
Two.
I'll take his third one and say,
Yeah.
trust God. If you're the only one there, and you have to move in this space, trust God.
Yeah.
Trust God. He'll give you the words to say. He'll, it may be painful at first, but trust him. He'll bring it around.
Yep.
Okay. If you want to subscribe,
Yes.
right down there somewhere, right? Hit
Right
that button.
here.
You can subscribe to the podcast. We're also now on iTunes.
iTunes, so you can look us
Eric,
up.
just
Let's
sign up
talk
on
youth
iTunes.
Yeah,
ministry.
just subscribe, yeah.
Send us a question at
talkyouthministry@gmail.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Rach.